But today is actually going to be a little bit different because what I want to show you guys today is Jackson. We're not having mac and cheese for breakfast. What I want to show you guys today is how to Jackson, don't do that. How to prep your house, or what we are going to do to prep it before the baby, because obviously now we're like almost a week out. So she can come any day now, but I want to show you just the little things that you know to think of to do to the house before you bring the baby home. Be kind of like a vlog style type video, because we are going to run to Target today to get a couple things, and I want to show you like things that we have to do instead of just sitting here and talking through it. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to go make breakfast for everybody. And he's building a big tower with his mac and cheese. So okay guys, so we just got back a little while ago from Target. Didn't film really too much in there because I don't know, I just didn't. So I'm gonna start showing you everything that we are doing that I can at least think of to prep the house for us to come home with the baby. So there's just like I said, I wanted to do this vlog style because I didn't want to just sit down and tell you guys. I wanted to show you things around the house and kind of show you everything in like each room that we're doing to get the baby, or to get the house ready for the baby. First thing I wanted to let you guys show you guys is the bassinet. So if you are choosing to use a bassinet, you obviously want to make sure that it is set up and ready for you for when you get home. So we obviously have, Sadie has to join the show. We obviously have ours all ready for when she comes home. It was already set up and put together because we had it for Jax. So all I did was kind of wash it down because it's been in the basement, clean the sheets and the mattress cover and everything that goes with it. And it has been in our room for about a couple weeks now, just because there was one day that I think James was off. I was just like, just bring it up, it's heavy. So we use the Halo bassinet. Bunch of mixed reviews on it. We liked it. Jack slept great in it, so we're hoping that Emma does as well. Some people hated it because it is big and heavy. It is. I'll show you guys like some of the features of it too. Yes, it is big and heavy, but think of it this way, like you're not really going to be moving it around once you have it next to your bed or wherever you're going to place it within your bedroom. So I didn't really worry too much about it. It was recommended to us. We like it. Again, it worked for us, and that's what we're going to use. Like to just use the pack and play up in the bedroom, because that comes, if you get like the one that comes with the sleeper, that can work as well. We're actually not going to be using that. I'll show you what we're doing with that, what we did with, I'll show you what we did with it for Jax and everything like that, and what we're going to do with it again for Emma. So Halo bassinet, I do recommend it. And again, make sure that it's set up and in position, or at least in your bedroom, before you go and leave for the hospital. So definitely do that a couple weeks before your due date, because you never know when you're gonna go. And that's why I brought it up a couple weeks ago, because you just never know. I have like a little over a week till my due date, so literally trying to get everything done this week. This week is like literally nesting prep week, like time to get the house prepped. So let me show you the bassinet, and then we will move on to a couple other things that you need to do to prep for the baby. All right, so now I am in the baby's room, and I've showed this before, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'll kind of link my other videos below that have to do with baby updates and pregnancy and stuff like that. But this one is not super important, because if your baby is going to be sleeping in your bedroom in a bassinet or a pack and play, you don't really need to have everything 100% ready in here. But it's exciting to have it ready, so I don't know. I'm just going to show you guys everything anyway. So we basically have the room entirely ready. We have the dresser. I have clothes in the dresser. I only washed the clothes newborn and 0 to 3 months. I didn't wash like the 6 month and up ones yet because that's still a while out. So you want to make sure that the clothes are washed. We use Dreft laundry detergent, so you want to make sure that you have some, or at least a non-scented detergent to use for the clothes, and that's what we kind of used for Jax, and that's what we used for her. The bed, again, we have the bed set up. I don't have sheets on the bed or anything yet, but again, it's set up and ready to go when she is ready to use her bedroom. We have the rocker put together. I did find that even when Jax was a baby, I would often just sit in his room and rock him, even though he didn't sleep in his room and we weren't in the room too often. It's just nice to have it. And you also just want to make sure that like the changing pads and that has the cover on it and just everything's kind of put together. Her room is not 100% done yet, but we're not too worried about it. I still have to get curtains, hang a few things up, but like I said, it's a while before she's in here and we're going to be in here too often, so I do not stress about that too often. But it is, again, mostly if you're a first-time mom, to have the room all set and ready, just because it's super exciting and it just makes things feel even more real than it is. So let me show you guys the room again. Okay, so now I am in our family room, and this is where we'll be kind of spending most of our time. So this is where we'll have a lot of stuff set up. So I'm gonna kind of explain it to you guys first, and then I'll show you. I have to sit down and talk. And then I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So like I said before about using like the bassinet and versus the pack and play. So we use the pack and play in the living room. We did this for Jax when he was a baby as well, and it just worked out really well because it was a perfect place to change diapers, but also to have them nap so you're not holding them like all day long. So we used it again for Jax, and we're going to set it up here and use it for Emma as well. So we have a Great Go Pack and Play. We got it when Jax was born, so it's a few years old. But it came with the sleeper for the baby napper and like the higher pad too, so that's where we had all the diaper changes and naps done. That's where we stored the diapers and the wipes, so they were easily accessible to change the baby when they need to be changed, like every 5 minutes. So I will kind of set that up a little bit, and I'll show you guys what it looks like, how we use it. It's been down in our basement for a little while now, so I just gotta wipe it down and clean it. We use like a little sheet to go over the sleeper anyway, so we'll be doing the same thing here for when we get it set up. The other thing that we would have down here in the living room, but we aren't necessarily going to use exactly yet, is if you have like a swing or a little seat or anything, make sure those are set up and ready to go in your living room, wherever you're going to be hanging out the most, just so you don't have to worry about setting anything up when you get home with the baby. That's the last thing you're going to want to do. So with Jax, we had the swing put together. He would go on the swing. Sometimes he barely ever, actually I don't think he ever really napped in the swing. I know my nephew napped in the swing all the time. Jax not so much, but we already have the swing put together and set up. It's just in the basement. We are not going to bring that up yet because I don't know if she'll like it or not. So maybe once we're home we'll bring it up, but again, ours is already put together in storage downstairs. I think that's it. So just make sure also too that like before you leave for the hospital, again, this is like if you have the time and you make sure you think of it, that you have just the stock of diapers and wipes like here and ready to go. I recommend, you never know how big your baby's gonna be. Newborn diapers I think only go up to like if they're 8 pounds, 8 or 9 pounds, and then anything above that is like size 1. So we have 1 pack of newborns, and then I think 1 pack of size 1s, and then once we're home and we see how much she weighs, we'll run out and get more of the right size that we need. Jax was in newborns for a while. He was a really tiny baby, so he was in newborn clothes and diapers for longer probably than most babies, but you just never know how fast they're gonna grow and what size they're gonna be. So definitely have a few of each size on hand, and then when you get home, you'll just run out as needed, just like down to CVS or wherever's closest to you to go get more of the right size diapers. Other thing to have on hand, if you plan on formula feeding and not breastfeeding, make sure that you do have a little bit of formula on hand. So if you decide right from the get-go, from like the hospital, that you are going to be feeding formula, they usually will have these little bottles. They're like the ready-to-go bottles that you literally just put a little disposable nipple on, and they're ready to go. They're liquid already. These were amazing when we had Jax. They excuse me, they had these at the hospital, so that's what we kind of used when we got home with him as well. You can get them on Amazon, Target, wherever. And again, I think this is like 12 bottles of 2 fluid ounces. So I forget the right formula, but there's a certain amount that babies should eat every few hours or whatever. But these were great because, again, they're already made, so it made like middle of the night feedings super easy, because you just have these by your bed and you screw on the little top and then feed the baby. Once they're done, they're done. So I highly recommend getting these to start with while your baby is not eating a super large amount of milk at a time. And then obviously once they get bigger, you'll get like the powdered stuff where you can make your own bottles with your own filtered water and everything. But these are great. They're also great to throw in your purse for on the go, and in the diaper bag for on the go when they're so little. So again, I do really highly recommend these. I think Enfamil, which is the other big brand, has like their own of these little bottles as well. But this is, I remember what the hospital had, so we just picked up a couple of these at Target today, just so that we have them home and ready to go. You're gonna need a lot of them anyway, so I'm sure we'll have to go get a lot more. I know Amazon sells them in like bulk in a bigger pack. So again, I just recommend having these on hand if you choose to formula feed your baby. This is, again, what our hospital had. I don't know if that's what every hospital is going to have. I don't even know if it's what our hospital will still have, but these I know worked well with Jax, so we'll use them again for. Here is our pack and play. Super easy to set up because we've obviously used it before and used it a million times with Jax when we travel. But as you can see, this is kind of what I was talking about. This is the mattress that comes with it, and it's hanging on the baby sleeper. So that's like if you were not to have this there, that's where the baby would sleep if you were to have the pack and play in your room instead of a bassinet. This is like the little napper / changing. It looks dirty now because it is. I have to wash it. But we will put a blanket and a sheet over it, as well as a sheet over the mattress as well. But I'm not going to do that till right before, or maybe even when we get home, just because I don't want it to get dirty if our cat jumps on it, which I'm sure she will. So yeah, this is the pack and play. We have it kind of situated right here just because that's the best spot for it to fit in our tiny living room. But it's great because we use it for so much storage. You guys will get so much use out of a pack and play. So definitely, if you have not purchased one or if you have not registered for one yet, highly recommend the one that comes with the adapter pieces for the changing and the napping and the storage and all that fun stuff. So there it is, all set up and ready to go. And again, I will put diapers and wipes all in here. Blankets, swaddles, burp cloths, bibs, everything. Like literally, you'll have this all here ready to go because, again, we will be spending most of our time right there and where James is. So that is it for the living room. Last thing I can possibly think of is kind of obvious. Is your car seats. Make sure if it's brand new, you have it assembled, you have the bases installed into your car. We're going to do that today. But our car seat is all ready to go. Everything is in there. We just have to put the base in James's car because that's the car we'll be taken to the hospital. So just make sure that you do that with enough time in advance so that you literally, all you have to do is get in the car and go. My hospital bag has been in my car for about a week or so now. The only thing that I would have to grab before we go is like my makeup bag. But that's it. Everything else, like my clothes, toiletries, they're all in the car. The baby's bag, all her stuff is in the car. So we have all that ready. The only thing I would need to do now is just pack a little bag for Jax, because he'll be staying during the days with my parents while like we're at the hospital. So depending on if like I deliver at night or in the morning, that I guess if I deliver in the morning and she's here like say at like noon or something like that, James will go home every night, just because Jax doesn't sleep too well at my parents' house, and just to like make sure that he's just not left alone. So he'll be home back at night, and then he'll come back during the day. So my parents will be watching him a lot during the day. Again, all depends on when we have her. Like if we go in at midnight, then he'll have no choice but to sleep at my parents for that one night. I'm hoping that I'll only be in the hospital for 2 nights. And hopefully maybe one night will count as when we have her. I don't know, so we'll see. But again, just make sure you have everything ready in the car for the car. So all you have to do is literally jump in and go when you are ready to have the baby.